Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is my review of KDE Plasma 6. Yeah, since it's like out officially now for some distros, which is good, right? Yep. Alright, so I've been using the official release for, well, the final release for the last week, I think at this point. Was it a week? Like February the 21st. So yeah, about a week now. Yeah. And I have encountered some bugs still. Completely normal. I mean, no desktop environment is perfect. Some are far from it. Some are closer than others. And there are some problems that I really hoped they would fix with Plasma 6 that they didn't. We'll go over that. But in a nutshell, the performance has been okay. It was better in Alpha 1, Beta 1. Beta 2, it started to get a little bit choppy. The animations were broken, and what I mean by the animations were broken, let's open something up here and just... Oh, they fixed it. Oh, that's what that update was about. Okay, so the animations are now fixed. Yay! That's really good. Look at that. Okay, let's actually, one second, let me try this. Yeah, that was 165. Okay, so performance now is fixed, but yesterday performance was just dog crap. So maybe they fixed that issue with today's update. A bunch of stuff got updated and pushed, which is nice. Did you see that animation? Okay, so the animations in this are fine, but that's because it's the KDE apps that are bad. Let me try this. Yeah, so KDE animations are so bad that they are encoding overloading my recording. So I guess that isn't fixed, but the performance seems better than it was yesterday, which is something. Okay, display and monitor. I want to see if there's anything new. Adaptive sync never. No, everything here is the same. I don't have an HDR monitor, so I cannot show you, but there would be an HDR button right here below replica of, and it's not there at the moment for me, but it's there for other people who have, you know, that. And I have tested the HDR experience using a TV. It's not that good. It's missing metadata, so the colors aren't going to be fully accurate like they should, but it looks good for a first rushed attempt. Okay. Calling it rushed because they didn't stick around and add the most important part of HDR, which is metadata. Alright, so again, animations are still freaking borked. Coding overload once again from doing that, which means that it's trying to pull too much from the GPU. Alright, so one of my biggest issues with KDE as a whole that I hoped they would have fixed is the settings menu. You see this? Look at all these. Now they split them up into categories to try to make it less messy, but it's disgustingly over messy. I want to go and see if I can find GNOME settings. Okay, so the one I'm about to show you right now is, nope, it won't let me, is GNOME 45. Their settings there. And then the one I'm going to show you after is GNOME 46. Okay? And I know it has nothing whatsoever to technically do with this, but I want to show you what the settings look like in GNOME, because look, that's it. Those are the settings. Okay? And everything else is inside of those categories. Here, you see the categories, and then you see everything else that's inside of them. It's just a mess. And on GNOME 46, they went one step farther and completely cleaned it up. Let me just try to put a side by side here so I can get you the best view possible. There, see? They completely cleaned them up. So bottom's 45, top's 46. Now they did do some cleanup here. I give them that, but it's just not enough. If a new user jumped into this, they would be overwhelmed in seconds, and that's why I want it changed. So that, again, it's more like this, where you have categories, and inside those categories, our default apps, removable media, things like that are related to apps, and the notifications. And this is clean. This is well designed. This is still clean, but not as well designed. This is basically the design level of a 5-year-old who's just learning coding. Not to be too harsh on them, but this is just bloated. Okay, when people refer to KDE as bloated, this is usually what they mean. All right. Another thing I don't like about KDE, and that includes another thing that was not fixed by KDE 6, is the fact that everything that you see is a widget. Everything. People complain all the time about GNOME extensions. They're extensions of the current desktop, but GNOME has almost everything you need built in from the get-go. KDE uses widgets. We're exactly like extensions. They are exactly like extensions. But here's the thing. They use it for everything. So what happens if widgets break entirely? No panel, no start menu, no system tray, no clock, nothing. You'd have a blank desktop and you'd be able to do nothing unless you knew how to open up the terminal. Oh, yeah. You could open up the terminal with command binds, but you'd have to launch every app from within here, and that in itself is not very friendly at all for new users. And most people think the KDE is one of the best things for new users. Not really. That's something I hope they would have changed in KDE 6, but they didn't. Everything is still a widget, nothing is actually built in. And that could lead to a very broken experience for a new user. What I do like is the fact that they redesigned these settings. What I don't like is that they kept the old settings right behind it. They could have put everything in this little box and got rid of all of this. Okay? All of it. There's stuff behind here. Okay? And that is weird. Let's be honest. I also don't like the fact that they didn't. A developer, Nico something, he's a YouTuber, he said he was going to fix this. See how the dock sort of gets squished down, but if we move it, it goes back up. He was supposed to basically add a toggle or a setting that made it so the dock stays like a dock, and also that this would stay floating. But he didn't do it, and I don't know why, and it bugs me. So, another broken promise, I guess. He even had it working, he was showcasing it, and everything like that. Alright, moving on. Gaming performance. Perfect. I have no complaints. It's not as good as something like GNOME 46 or Cosmic DE, but it's still really good. You'll have no complaints whatsoever. The latency's fine. It's basically something you'll barely even notice unless you test for it. And the performance in general, like in games, the desktop environment does not affect it at all. It feels fast, it works, it's good. I'm trying to think of other things here to say. I'm not very good at reviewing desktop environments, but yeah. Another thing I don't like is that this system tray, I want to show you how much is actually here because I hid so much. All right, this is another complaint I have. Another KDE is too goddamn bloated for its own good. Half of these, if not all of these, were enabled. Okay? I'm gonna just like that, but more. And that is ridiculous. By default, it should just be this. Okay? Except for the weather widget. That's it. And the copy board one, where is it? Because people like to know if their copy and paste is there. The clipboard, that should be there by default. But it should not be all of this. What is a user supposed to do with that? Like already, you're overwhelming new users and it's just destroying the overall aesthetic. I don't like it. Now, moving on to other things. I really had hopes that KDE 6 would introduce a cleaner theme. like cleaner default theme, because here's the problem. GNOME themes, they look beautiful. They're clean, crisp corners, but when it comes to KDE, you see this bottom part here? Yeah, that does nothing. That's aesthetics. This is the bottom of the window. That's one of my main problems. Also, did you see that? You see when I move it, how laggy it is? Not okay. That is part of nothing. So you can't grab onto that. See? That annoys the shit out of me. Like a lot. That just... No. That's not something you do. That's like a mistake that a first year design student would make. Now I know this theme isn't like the default theme. This is the default theme. And here's the thing. It's still the same bottom. It doesn't look clean. It doesn't look modern. It just looks like they said, hey, give them the basics, call it a day, make sure there's dark mode. We're good to go. They won't notice a difference. I notice. This is why I end up changing things to look better. For me, personally, to look better. And it does end up taking a while. Even changing themes is causing encoding overload. It just feels like they didn't optimize it all. I'm glad they fixed bugs. Yay! Give me some optimizations. Why does every time when I click something, does it lag? I don't like it. I'm gonna just set this as default real quick. All right, and we'll leave that alone. All right, moving on to the next thing. If there is a next thing, my brain's still contemplating. I can't remember what it is. Oh, certain distros have this layout editor by default where it will pop up and ask you, do you want the Windows type thing? Do you want the Mac OS type thing? Do you want the Ubuntu type thing? And it would be nice if KDE included one of these so it can automatically create a dock for people with a panel up top. So people really like this look, and I don't really know why. I mean, I love it, so I know why. But most people are crying and complaining, you know, about Mac OS in general. So it's kind of strange to see that happening, but it just makes users know that they can do what they need to do because, well, as people tend to say, KDE is very customizable. It is, but it's also extremely limited. I can customize GNOME to hell and back to the point where no one really recognizes it, but when it comes to KDE, because the theming's not clean and the overall everything is just chunky, even if I did make it look not like itself, people would realize in a matter of seconds that what it is, you know? Let's see if there's any new widgets in here. There is not. Oh, actually there is. There's this one. What is this? Remote control JRiver. Oh, crap. Simple timer. Panel spacer extended. Desktop indicator. Year progress. Like, I get it's brand new, right? So it's not really gonna do a thing, but that looks cool. What in the world is this? So this allows you to colorize your panels and animate them. Deal. Let's grab the second one. Wonder if it's actually going to install. That's another issue, is that installing themes this way has been broken for a while. And I'm just... It's going to do anything? No, it's not. Oh, encoding overload again. Oh my. Alright, more apparent settings. I want to go to Plasma style and I want to get new. We're going to see what pops up. Sumac Day Plasma. What is this? Look at that chunky theme right there. Ugh, that aesthetic is horrible. There's a Windows 11 Twilight theme. That looks okay. Man, people are really obsessed with Windows 11. A lot more than I thought. Oh, that looks really nice. I like shades of purple. Install. Oh, huh. It actually works now. I am very surprised. Modern KDE, what is this? A theme for modern. Alright, I'll install that too. Oh, it worked. Good. What else do we got here? Oh, Windows 12 OS Nord. Alright, that's weird. Oh, another weeb. Breeze Glass. Chrome OS KDE. What? Why? Yeah, Tokyo Night. Oh, what is this? That looks pretty freaking cool. Yeah, I wouldn't trust it at all. Is there a way I can save my current look? Like, that would be great. It's another missing thing. No shades of purple in here. I guess I have to grab it, don't I? Shades of purple color theme. Install. It's done. Okay. Oh, and there it goes. It did it again. No shades of purple in here, but I kind of like the fact that there's purple now, so I'm not really going to complain very much. Application style. Can we get a new application style? Is there a way to do that? Or are we stuck with just ugly, uglier, and ugliest, and really ugly? Because none of these are modern looking whatsoever. Which is another complaint, I guess. Okay, let's finish this off real quick. KDE 6 is a nice step forward, but it's mostly just massive bug fixes with rushed HDR, rushed color profiling. Actually, color profiling is pretty good, but they still literally just threw it in there at last second. And the VRR is mostly broken almost all the time, even when using an AMD GPU, so that's pretty much not very useful at all. Theming is unclean, and I don't know why they still do this, but KDE 6 is a massive amount of bug fixes, which is something they could have done a long time ago with KDE 5. But they chose to add feature after feature after feature after feature instead of actually building a good, modern, working desktop. And now they've put in more bug fixes than they ever have before. And it's working good. It's actually usable as a daily desktop environment for me. But there's a lot more to do. I need you guys to stop rushing your features. VRR is pretty much broken. Not only that, but it lacks basically any knowledge of what you're doing. I'll show you that real quick while we're talking about it. Where is it? Display configuration. Look at this. You have automatic, always, or never. In a modern OS, okay, like Windows or Mac OS, it will tell you variable from. So in other words, it will say there's a button to turn on variable refresh rate. It's not called adaptive sync. It's called variable refresh rate. That's what people know it as. And you turn it on, and then this would add extra options that says variable from 48 up to 165, or 48 to 120, or 48 to 144. Not whatever the hell this is. This is not how you implement VRR. And then once again, their HDR lacks metadata because they just thought, hey, I guess it's not necessary to have accurate color information being passed from what you're watching, okay, to your monitor. Not only that, but I've seen HDR monitors not even work on it, so they didn't fix the edge cases. In a nutshell, again, lots of bug fixes, but too many rushed features. If you run a Chromium browser, at least you have 120 hertz scrolling. Hey! I hope they do better with KDE 6.1, which is going to be going into testing very soon. And when that happens, I will be updating to that, and I will be doing videos about that. But this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. If I was going to give this a rating, it would be a 5 out of 10. okay? That's how unacceptable it is. Now, I gotta go do a video on GNOME 45. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like, subscribe. If you've used KDE 6, let me know about your opinions. And I will see you guys next time. Do better, KDE, for the love of God.